Wars night.
Star Wars night.
Yeah, I get a Clone Trooper bobblehead.
Woohoo!
The Braves.
Yeah, the Georgia State night was not available, so I was a little frustrated. But maybe I just have to buy the tickets and actually get the giveaway, even though it's just a stadium seat, which is a dumb giveaway.
But you got to buy the ticket through.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I can't get it through my work, so
right.
Yeah, I might have to get it if I want to go with you guys.
Yeah, you can get your work ticket and then go sit there, but just buy the Georgia State ticket to get the.
I think this will be the third time I said it now. The work ticket is not available.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying is you were not able to get the Georgia State item through your work ticket. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, I said
that
I
is a
did
true
say that
statement.
too. I did say that too. So but it wasn't on the spreadsheet. They drop a spreadsheet and they're like, okay, everyone do it, and it's like a mad rush to get your game. So my game wasn't there.
Oh well. Hopefully that means there's a lot of Georgia State people that are trying to go.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to see like the White Sox or something because that's the team that's in Chicago, right?
Yes, one of them.
That's the one team. That's the one team in Chicago is the White Sox.
Yeah, we already played the White Sox is American. We already played them up there in like the second series of the season.
I'm just trolling Denver. She's a Cubs fan.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
She's yelling at me over there. I don't know if you can hear her or not, but she's really upset.
It's like there's another team in Wrigleyville.
No, she's real mad. She's mad at you, Tim.
No, I'm shocked they actually have White Sox fans. I have never met a White Sox fan. I have been to Chicago.
Obama was a White Sox fan.
Was he? Okay, well, I've never met him either. I've been to Chicago multiple times.
Everybody. I thought he met every single American.
He shook everyone's hand. He kissed all the babies.
Twice.
You shook Obama's hand?
I'm lying.
Okay, yeah.
It didn't happen.
I've been to Chicago multiple times. I've met a lot of people from Chicago, and I've never. And I ask them, like, "Are you Cubs or White Sox?" And like the look of disgust that comes on their face when I say the words White Sox.
Oh, I know.
Way.
But I'm kind of a fan of the underdog, obviously, right? I mean, you see my politics, you see my sports fandom. And so I always sort of grew up being like, oh, the White Sox are pretty rad, because that's like the team that nobody's a fan of and they don't ever really do that well.
If I was ever forced to move to Chicago for some reason, I've always said if I had to move to a city that had other pro sports teams, obviously Falcons, Braves would be my first pro teams, but I would adopt their local sports team as like my number 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
If I was forced to go to Chicago, you're probably right, Ryan. I would probably go White Sox over Cubs for that exact reason.
Because everyone's a Cubs fan.
I'm an Atlanta fan. I'm used to rooting for the shitty team, so I should root for the White Sox.
but just contrary to that though, like you could pick the better team and like finally have a team that's good. But I mean, unfortunately, for this conversation, the Braves are often very good. They just can't win playoffs or World Series.
I would single-handedly destroy any quality program. If I moved to LA and became a Lakers fan, they would suddenly become like a 1-win season team.
That's right. Yeah. No matter how good they were the previous season, you would just trash.
As soon as I buy my Kobe jersey, they're just going.
It's all over.
Like that helicopter.
Whoa! Too soon.
Wow.
Way too soon.
Jeez.
It's last call, man. We can say whatever we want to, right?
No, I mean that's not. I mean, it is last call. It does not mean you can say whatever you want to. You can say a lot more.
You can.
I'm not saying I liked it.
You can say whatever you want, but we're gonna judge you on it.
But
exactly.
What else do we want to talk about? We skipped a bunch of shit, right?
Tim. Actually, I shortchanged you. Bracket winner.
Hell yeah! You can't wait for all those winnings to show up.
Yeah.
David,
exactly.
Make it happen. Make it rain.
Look, I think I'm still the winner in the fact that I even made it close. Because I mean, like me and David were the first people to have our brackets busted, and people were just like, "Oh, Ryan and Dave are out," and like I wasn't out. I came back with a vengeance.
You did.
So I think the fact that you guys did so well is a testament to how your heart is not into the state of Atlanta thing, because we embrace the fact that we know nothing about what we're talking about, and I came in last place. So therefore,
you
I
held the
truly
fort
know
down.
nothing. I know nothing at
No,
all.
you held the fort down for us.
The
Thank
people
you.
who know nothing are the ones who do the best in these things, because I just pick colors I like, I was just like, oh, that's a nice purple.
Ooh, that shade of red.
That's a nice
Stupid.
crimson there.
There's no such thing as nice crimson, unless it's the blood coming out of a TDS
I
fan.
like a dark red. A dark red's rather nice. It's good. No, I looked at the stats. I picked stats off their little custom thing that I thought might make a difference. And
oh my god, it's a groundbreaking idea. Why would they even put stats out there? That's crazy.
I picked ones that I liked, though. It's a really cool feature they have. I don't like the NCAA platform for it, but that's nice.
I like the platform because it kind of tracked the bracket. You can see who picked what in each game, and obviously you could watch on your phone easily.
Can you?
No,
you
you
can just pull it up. Like, you don't have to log in with a provider or anything.
Of course, you have to have a provider.
You do? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
This shows me. I mean, I was just like, I don't want to watch these games. I just want to win the bracket.
see, Ryan. Tim has a life because he doesn't have children, and so therefore he's out and about watching the games. Where I just had to be at home with my kids watching the game the entire time, all the games. So
you could have had your phone out and watched Star Wars at the same time, and you could watch the game and Star Wars.
Nice.
I did introduce Fritz to Star Wars this weekend, and he the opening sequence, and they're shooting the blasters. He just started going choo 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 choo.
You won. You win.
Well, then so I texted Kim wasn't here. I texted her. I was like, oh, he's doing shooting noises, and then the next scene or later on when the escape pod lands on Tatooine and C-3PO and R2-D2 get out there, whenever 3PO is on the screen for the rest of the movie, he'd go choo 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 choo. Like, I guess he either associated the laser fire to 3PO or he wants to kill 3PO. Either way, I'm kind of into it. So
could just be both. Yeah.
Yeah. Never know.
All right. The other thing that was the big talking point, the Super League.
70, 80 teams? 80 teams?
80 teams. I honestly, I did not read about it until just a couple hours ago. I don't hate it. I think Ryan's going to hate it. I don't hate it. I don't know what your take on it is, Tim.
I don't hate it. I just don't see how it's possible.
I was like, well, so they talked about implementing relegation, and then they were like, yeah, but the 80 teams won't have relegation. And I'm like, well, wait, what? So who has it?
They're safe.
So there will be 8 divisions of 10 teams will be the Super League, and 7 of those
all
divisions,
safe.
Yes.
7 of those divisions are protected teams from the what was the current P5
So dumb.
plus Notre Dame plus SMU skated in right into the ACC.
How you gonna have relegation and just be like, but not these teams? They're just stuck here. They get to be up here no matter how bad they are. They stay at the top.
That's what they're saying. There's 70 teams that are
the
immune to it, and so then the 8th division is going to be a relegation division from what they're calling the second tier of college football.
Did we make that? No, we didn't make that. Did we?
Yeah. It's all the other teams. It's the rest of FBS would be in the second tier. So the top 10 teams. Well, I shouldn't say top 10 teams. So I guess they would put in the top 10 teams that are not in the 70, and then after that, the relegation comes into play. And they didn't give any kind of specifics about how many teams. Is it the last place team and the 8th division and the first place team and the rest swap, or if there's 2, 3, how many teams do that? But then all 8 teams, all division champs, make the 16 team playoff, and then they take 8 at-large bids that would be the highest ranked, or the best record. So there'd be no committees.
From the
8 best records.
7, right?
8 division champs, the next 8 best records. What
if they're tied?
Top tier.
How do they fix that?
There's always tiebreakers. Same if head-to-head games or strength of schedule, points for, points against. It comes down to a coin flip.
The schedule is not going to be part of it because that would be a committee.
Well, I should say strength of schedule, but we'd be like opponents. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Not
Maybe,
strength of
yeah.
schedule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'd have some kind of tiebreaker for sure, but
I don't hate it.
I think
I-
strength
I-
of schedule matters.
I don't hate it at
Yeah.
all. I actually think it's a decent idea and solution to the problem that's going to emerge no matter what.
But I think that if you do something like that, that's going to end up being one TV contract because the whole problem with this is supposed to solve the realignment problem, but the realignment problem was all caused by conferences all fighting for that, that game check, that TV money. And if you do something like this, then it's going to be, I would assume those 7 divisions are all, because that 8th division is not getting the same quality check as those 7 divisions are. And those 7 divisions will all be getting the same. They didn't give any specifics on that kind of, or I didn't see any specifics on how they plan to arrange that. But I think it's interesting because you take your top 70 teams. There's plenty of P5 teams that are not going to make the top 70, right? Duke football is not making the top 70.
No,
Vandy football.
I just think it's a large number. 70 is a lot.
Well, that's like what? Like at this point, it's like 3 conferences.
I just don't know why you
True.
protect them from the relegation. I don't get it. Like I get why they don't want to be relegated, but the good teams aren't, like UGA and Bama and like proper USC and Notre Dame and Ohio State. They're not getting relegated. It's not going to happen. Even if it's eligible for it, they don't have to be protected. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, but why would you ever sign something that would put you at risk?
Because it makes for I don't know.
When you're the one that's
entertaining.
It's a dumb system to be like, oh, we're not gonna, like, oh, what, you think you're gonna be so bad you're gonna get relegated? No, well then fucking sign it.
I don't think this has any chance at all in happening.
No.
But-
Yeah, I mean that was why I said let's do this on last.
But
call.
I liked it. I thought that having that relegation thing for that one division, I'm fine with it.
It feels very pat on the head. I know I use that a lot in our chats and stuff, but it just feels like yeah, you can have a conference over here. Yeah, come on up.
Yeah, and I think that's the best.
You can sleep on
option
the bed tonight.
It's the best option we've seen so far from any kind of proposition for the future going on to actually still be included and having a chance.
That's the big thing. Like, if there isn't something that's figured out, well, then we're going to be figuring out what the rest of
And
will
maybe 70 teams is too much. Maybe 80 teams is too much. Maybe it's the top 60 or 50 plus 10 or something, I want to see a separation where we actually have P5 programs that are now one of us. You've got,
I mean, that's going to come sooner than later.
right. And I'm excited. I'm all like, think about this. So if the top 30 to 60 teams break off and do their own thing, you're going to leave a lot of P5 programs out there without a team, without a conference, whatever. And all of a sudden, like Ole Miss is now looking for a team and they're in the Sun Belt or something like that kind of stuff, that anarchy, that chaos really excites me.
That's even less likely than this.
But we don't know what's going to happen. We have no idea.
Well, I agree with that, but I'm saying it's less likely that we'll drop Vandy and Duke and whatever from the P5.
Oh, for sure. It has to. It has to.
They have to. They don't have room for them.
There's no room.
There's no room. What are you talking about?
No, there's no room for the bottom dwellers of P5. Like Rutgers is not going to survive
They
as a
created
P5.
football.
Okay, well, they forgot how to do it at some point.
No, but why? What do you mean? There's no room? I don't understand that argument.
You're talking.
They're not going to want to bring them along.
If you're looking at the top 30, top 60, top 70 football programs, Rutgers and Duke do not make that list. Wake Forest probably doesn't make that list.
Playing teams that aren't as good as them. They love the shit out of that. That's why they schedule FCS programs.
No. I'm not saying they're going to shut down their football program. I'm just saying they're not going to be in that protected echelon. Like Like I think it's going to come into like a 30 team, maybe 45. I think it's like 30. The 30 best college football programs are going to break off into their own thing and say F you to the rest of college football, and it'll be a disaster. And if you have 30 teams, you're not bringing along the entire SEC and the entire Big Ten.
Do we
You're not
know
getting
what
all
the
of them.
FCS FBS split looked like back when that happened? Because they were, I mean, they were all D1, and basically they said, all right, everyone in FCS really doesn't have the money to compete effectively with people that are in the in the FBS, and so let's split it up. But was that done by conference, or were there teams that were in conferences that then got peeled off because of that? I think that'd be probably an interesting thing. I don't think anyone here knows that, right?
No,
Absolutely
no.
not.
All I know is like
I don't either.
Lafayette was around back then and retained their D1A status.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting
Or
to like
maintained,
look
whatever
to
it's
see
called.
how that happened, to see like what like conferences do. But I have a really hard time imagining any conference themselves, like, because they've all banded together, just dips out on somebody like Purdue just
That's the
gets-
thing is conferences are going to be a thing of the past, or
Right.
as we know them. The SEC is not going to kick out Vanderbilt, but the SEC may go away and
No,
just
there hasn't
just-
been any talk of that. That
No,
doesn't
but,
mean
like, it's-
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, well, I think you're wrong, but
it's going to be you're going to find across all conferences, find your top 30 teams. Those teams are going to decide what's going to happen across conferences.
I
And
don't
so
think
yeah,
they're
so
gonna
that's
ditch 'em.
and there's no way that Georgia and Bama are going to fight to give an even split to Vanderbilt. It's just not happening.
Well,
Once
I don't
we
know
get
if there's
there.
gonna be an even split, but they're getting carried along. Sorry, Tim,
No,
go
no,
ahead. We've been talking over you a couple times, I think.
No, I'm agreeing with David. I mean, he's reading a lot of the same stuff I am. That the teams are going to decide what they want to do. They're going to say, "Hey, we're done with this. We're going to go make our own fancy league, and we're not taking everyone with us. We just want the best of the best, the richest of the richest. That's it."
And the longer you try to maintain conferences or maintain NCAA involvement, it's just longer before the Band-Aid gets ripped off, because it's going to turn into the top 30 teams. Maybe in 20 years, maybe in 40 years, maybe in 60 years, but it's going to be
What your timeline is. Let's put like $1 American on like it not happening in the next 10 years.
I think before I die, you'll see college football be the top 30 teams.
David,
as,
you probably have a failing liver right this second, and
before before my lifespan should end, like in the next 40, within 40 years, I would wager an American
40?
dollar.
40. Come on, man. That's silly. That's silly. I mean,
86. My grandfather
David.
just
Go
died
for
last year. He's
within
89.
The next 5 years, go for that.
I was giving you
5.
10.
God
All
damn
right,
it,
10.
guys.
There, we'll go for it.
I mean,
10
you see
years.
how fast the playoff system has changed. I mean, over the last 5 years, really, the playoffs have
It's
changed
insane.
a lot. I mean, so changes are happening fast. I will give you all that. I don't think the Vandy's, Dukes, Purdue's of the world are getting dropped from P5. The P5, the grouping. I
The top
think
tier.
they're along for the ride.
I disagree. No, for now, there is going to be a separation.
Like somewhere in the future. I mean, come on.
Yes, keep up or get left behind. And if Vandy can't start competing, they're going to get left behind. It's going to happen.
They got to have their cupcakes, man. It's all good.
They'll still be able to play Georgia
There's
State.
plenty of room for them.
They can play whoever they want to.
They'll still be able to play us. They'll still play their teams. But the money's just not in keeping those around. They want to have this as large of a slice of a pie as they can get.
Well, I don't think it's very brave to just be like sometime in the future, in the next 40 years, this is going to happen. Like so like put
10
put
years. Something's
put
gonna
like
happen.
$1 in 10 years.
$1. Come on, David. You put
10 years.
$1.
10 years. I don't know if it happens in 10 years.
Are you
20
afraid to bet $1?
Apparently.
Man, dude, I got 3 kids to put through school.
I'll drink a Miller Lite,
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
and you'll drink a PBR.
I drink PBR all the time with you.
That's true. I
I
hate.
have drank
It's
way
a good
more.
deal for you, David.
No, make them drink
I
a
have drank
PBR
way
and a
more
Guinness.
PBR with you than you drank Miller Lite with me.
You have to drink a PBR. No, the heavy
Infused
one.
with Guinness.
The PBR heavy.
What's
which
PBR
tastes
heavy?
like shit. I don't know. I don't know if it's called heavy, but it's that one that's like a black can with the blue ribbon still. It's a really cool looking can, but it's a higher alcohol content.
Oh, like a high
But it
gravity
doesn't-
PBR.
it tastes like there's a lot of sugar in it, which higher alcohol content. That's where you get alcohol from. So
Yeah, well, they could have gotten more alcohol from it if they would have
It's like the PBR extra caffeine model, except
it's not that good,
just
y'all.
booze.
like a Four Loco of a
I
PBR.
brought it to a tailgate one time just to try it out, and I was like, "Oh god, this sucks."
Pass, hard pass. I'm out.
I mean,
Done.
and I like PBR, guys. So I mean, it has to really be not that good for me to be like, no thanks.
You're like, this just fails. Whatever this is, it sucks.
Yeah,
It's not doing what I want it to do.
PBR has a THC infused beer too, which is I haven't had it, but I'm interested.
Well, that
I'm
surprises
intrigued.
me.
I'm intrigued.
You could be.
I don't know if it tastes like the fucking weed beer that Sweetwater puts out there. I hard pass on that as well.
Well, that's not actually infused with anything. That's like flavored.
I don't care. It smells like
Yeah.
fucking disgusting. Like
After a few sips, you don't even notice it.
I have had vodka that was infused with cannabis before, and it was really good. It was nice. It had like a pine scent to it, and like a really sweet taste.
that sounds horrible. A pine.
It was a
scent
little.
to
Well, I
it?
like gin. Remember, I like gin.
Oh, turpentine. Sounds gross.
Are you saying gin is turpentine or just?
I'm not a fan.
I'm saying.
I mean, well, cheap gin is. Yeah.
Well, but gin has like some interesting type smells and flavors, like piney and junipery and all that different stuff. So whatever.
Gag me with a dead Smurf.
God, David.
Jesus.
Anything else on the agenda?
Nope.
No.
Negatory.
Time to go.
Dead Smurfs and helicopters.
I know.
did the dead Smurf thing bother you as much as the Kobe Bryant comment did?
Let's move to the after call.
After call. All
Yeah.
right.
Which we do
Thanks,
not
Ryan, for
record or put out. So sorry, we don't put out.
Hey, Ryan puts out. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.